Shut up and sit down.
You're just waiting for me to record?
Well, your wish is his command.
'Cause I'm recording. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Suds and Buds. I think this is the quickest we've ever gotten to the interview. Or, not interview, but intro.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, I'm a few suds in. And who's a few suds in? That'd be Vincent Herman. And who's joining me?
What are you drinking, first off?
I kind of like that on that last... you introduce yourself and your beverage.
Yeah, you know what? That was a really smooth intro, and I'll try and remember that in episodes prior.
Because you forgot about the clanking. Like, we set up a few good little, established things the first episode of Suds and Buds. And I think it happened...
I think it was throughout the first few episodes. But
yeah, because they're all recorded on one day.
Okay. Without any editing, starting over. My name is Vincent Herman, and I am drinking Budweiser Jim Beam Copper Lager again.
My name is Bob Collins, and I'm drinking Magic Hat Art Hop Ale Blonde Ale. And as well, because I'm about to finish it, a Magic Hat number 9, not quite pale ale.
A man of many hats.
Yeah. Oh, magic ones at that.
My name is Brittany Laporte. We're saying last names.
Ooh,
Well,
I figured
she's finally revealing the last name.
Yeah,
for the
I
first
thought you were
time.
just covering your ass and you know what? I'm just gonna.
You had gone Brittany the whole time, so.
Yeah.
I think the nicknames are gonna die with SMP. Should we get to that later, or do you want to start off talking about that? But we kind of we're stepping on Brittany's intro here. So.
Oh. And I am drinking Oak Leaf Vineyards Sweet Red. It's a wine from Walmart. That's the bomb.
Delicious.
Yeah. Sorta My Podcast. Gonna die soon. Not too far off. I think as of recording this, 16 episodes to go. Less by the time this comes out.
You mean like how Endgame killed the Titanic record?
I love that. Because we are post Endgame spoilers territory, because the Russo brothers said it's okay, and I don't know who the fuck asked them.
And
but
if you've watched the Far From Home trailer, it kind of spoils that shit.
Yeah. I still stick by my standard. I would those followers of the Sorta My Comics Facebook page will know I will not share any article that has any sort of spoiler for Endgame.
Yeah. That's polite.
I don't do it until it's out on Blu-ray. If you haven't caught it by the time it's out on Blu-ray, you didn't go out and buy it when it came out on Blu-ray, you don't give a fuck.
Right.
No,
spoilers.
I can't even say that you don't give a fuck, but
you
don't give a fuck.
You don't give a fuck as much about spoilers by that point.
Because
if you're really worried about spoilers, you'd go see it within the first couple weeks.
No, I mean, even so, you're in a
coma.
I can't really afford to drop this money on tickets and concessions and take my family because I can't get away. I'm taking the most extreme excuse as to why you didn't see it in the theaters. But you've had months upon months upon months to go ahead and chip back $2 here, $3 there, just to get it on DVD for $15-20.
I bet you bought a pack of cigarettes or a case of beer.
Give a fuck. And if you're one of the assholes who fucking downloaded it, well, you know what? Fuck you. So
yeah,
I stand strictly against illegal downloading these days. Hypocritically, but not actively hypocritically, but post.
I guarantee you had LimeWire.
Oh yeah. No, I was deep into all that shit.
Oh,
I still see your peg leg over there in the corner.
I'm Big Jack Sparrow.
You fucking pirates.
No, I don't do any of that shit anymore though. Like so many of my favorite things died because of that shit. And I was like, fuck, okay, look, if I can't pay for it, I don't watch it. If I really love it, I'll pay for it.
Right.
Now, see,
and the MCU is top on that list.
I've done this in the past. I haven't done it in years. But, like, I'll go to a theater, I'll watch a movie, and then I'll find a decent bootleg before it comes out on Blu-ray. I might download it, watch it, and then when it comes out on Blu-ray, I'm buying it.
I think
so it's like I'm not really taking any money away that I would put in.
Yeah.
I mean, that like was potential for me, but I am still pirating
not
in between.
Legally speaking, but that is an acceptable, morally speaking, that is an acceptable, like, middle ground. If my DVD collection is any indication, the one behind you or the one beside you, I obviously have no problem shelling out for films.
You should see ours.
Yeah. And mine's not even...
This is a work in progress.
Not all my movies are even there yet, so...
Okay, I just want to say that...
well, there's a lot of impressive things. First of all, I want to point out Metropolis on Blu-ray.
I want to point out...
one of my favorite fucking films of all time, 1927, Fritz Lang, silent fucking sci-fi masterpiece with found footage remastered for Blu-ray release. I love that fucking thing so much. My MCU collection.
Where's your Metropolis statue?
It is packed up for reasons.
Oh, well,
I don't want to go into them right now.
It should be.
It is a work-related
on my shelf.
reason, and I'm pretty pissed about it months out. So.
I want to know about this at least off mic.
Well, he doesn't want to talk about it.
Not
off
this episode. We'll talk about it later.
Off mic.
It was Brittany had a point.
I have a point.
She has a point. Bob, shut the fuck up. She has a point.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm literally in the middle of drinking this beer.
Okay, so our DVD collections are
Brittany,
extremely similar.
The floor is yours.
Okay.
Brittany, I don't know if you heard him,
Jesus
but
fucking Christ. It's not funny.
Okay, Brittany, you can...
She's waiting now.
It's funny now. Okay, alright, for real. Realsy real.
Okay, the only thing that made me excited was I looked over and seen all the seasons of Moonlighting.
Yes!
Well, I don't know if you just seen me take off my headphones and get up, but I seen that you have all these tags like sports, musicals, thrillers.
That's such a fucking good idea.
Yeah. And there's a tag right before all your Bruce Willis, and I was really hoping it just said Bruce Willis.
Well, I haven't made the label. My label maker got some like gunk to. I gotta fix it.
Semen.
And it was. I haven't been able to.
Semen, wasn't it?
It was a lot of. I'm really excited about making labels.
He was just thinking about making the Bruce Willis one. And destroyed his label maker in that one shot.
I haven't been able to make a label for it, but yes, I chose to take that that label, that unlabeled marker, and put it before my Bruce Willis movies instead of put it in front of my MCU movies, which are also their own section because they're organized in watching order.
I just want to know, I mean, I understand that you have a gap there that it fits into, but why isn't that Iron Man Special Edition down with you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the Iron Man Special Edition will eventually end up on a shelf, like a more displayed situation.
Okay.
But the reason there is kind of a separation there is that everything on those last two shelves are movies I've never watched and or bought a new copy of that I've never seen that version before. And so I want to watch it again. So I'm considering it unwatched. Like Armageddon is on that. I love that movie. But that is the Criterion Collection with added scenes, DVD commentary with Bruce Willis. It's got a lot of extra shit. And so I'm just like, you know what? This is a fresh go.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay, Vin. Vin, okay.
So what really intrigued me was the fact that I've really never met anyone else other than probably like 3 people that has watched Bound.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a bit of a story behind this one, and you could probably guess where this is going.
Yeah, because
Tilly titties.
Tilly
titties. No, bro.
Did I just find the title of this episode?
Tilly titties.
Tilly titties, boys.
Bound to
Dirty
see Tilly
fucking danglers,
titties, boys.
Just repping some Tilly titties,
boys.
Anyways, yes, I was introduced to the movie Bound through Pornhub, searching for Jennifer Tilly.
Hold on. Speaking of Pornhub, ask Brittany. Somebody, I don't know where I saw it.
We've talked about auto cannibalism, but we break up more when we're talking about porn.
I saw this post, I think on Facebook, where someone's like, the real hero is to the man that, or to the person that uploaded the full movie of Endgame on Pornhub.
Oh my god,
So
did that happen?
I instantly went to Pornhub and searched for it. It must have been pulled down. There was a few scenes up there, and there's some trailers, and then a lot of parody porn.
Here's
a lot of parody porn, bro.
Oh, for sure.
We're setting in our kitchen.
There was somebody made a fucking, like, at least as tall as your movie shelf there. So what is that? About 3.5, 4 foot?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
An infinity gauntlet, and where all the stones were different sex toys.
Yeah.
Oh my god! My god, I want to see it.
A girl was dressed like Thanos.
Yeah, the girl was
and
dressed
the other
as
girl
Thanos.
was dressed like Gamora.
We have so many conversations going on at once. Let me tackle the one that's foremost on my on my head. Anyways, this DVD collection is not complete for a great variety of reasons, but one of which is that my son is only 13. When he is 18, you better believe I'm investing in some DVD versions of porno parodies, because I love porno parodies. Not
too.
just like fat material, but like I just love watching them. They're the best comedies.
And sometimes, like, the superhero ones, like, that's some great costumes.
Bob. Okay. Have you seen This Isn't Clerks?
What?
Okay.
Is it on Pornhub?
I know that there is one, thanks to Kevin Smith talking about it recently.
I can, for one reason or another, pass it along to you. But, yeah, it is a thing, and it is fantastic.
Is it on Pornhub?
Look at her.
I don't know if it's on Pornhub,
right
but I know I have access to it.
Back whenever Odell was still married, and I was living with him.
How do you search things on Pornhub?
There's a little
with a microphone, with a microphone glass, with a microscope glass. Oh my god!
Magnifying glass.
Had a few too many suds here, guys,
and not enough buds.
No, not really.
Whenever
we don't get together enough.
Grandpa's. No.
No.
You are in the wrong place.
Wrong category.
It says nudist store clerk. Store clerk.
You're in the
Closer.
Ew.
Okay. Well, Brittany discovers
whenever I was living with Odell a few years ago, back in 2016, me, him, and his ex, I'm not even going to say her name, but we would sit around drink.
Like, your name hasn't been said like 80,000 times on the podcast.
But from this point on, I'm not.
From this point on. Exes are unmentionable.
Yes. But I don't remember how it started, but we were sitting around drinking, talking about a porn parody. And it began this game where it's like, all right, name a movie. Any movie. You think of it like Edward Scissorhands.
Oh,
and I'll just type in.
Love this game.
Whatever the movie title is, porn parody, and to see if there's a porn parody. And 99% of the time, there is, regardless of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh god,
there we go.
Nice.
A little
even you
mic.
Trying to like muffle it, silence it from the
still powerful.
It still came through pretty hard.
Yeah. Anyways, yes, I have a copy of Bound. I was introduced to it through Pornhub, but eventually, I don't even know why, because with Pornhub, you jerk it and forget it. You search it, you get your business done,
you put
out.
Your thing down.
Although I am
reverse it.
I see all these Pornhub comments that make the rounds as memes, and I'm like, maybe I should stop to read the comments.
How long ago was it?
Oh, never mind.
That you found Bound?
That I found it or actually watched the movie?
Watched it.
About a year ago.
Oh, no.
Actually finally watched the full movie.
Okay.
It was
Not
long
just
before
sex
that.
Scene.
It was long
30
before that I
seconds.
discovered it.
It was made in 96?
It was a 90s film, yes.
I probably watched it in 99.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Must have been a bit of a sexual awakening for you.
1996.
96, yeah. So it was at that moment
that you realized
that I like vagina.
Yeah.
And girls and boys.
And Jennifer Tilly in general.
No, I've just always had this fascination
It was caught.
with Jennifer Tilly's fucking boobs.
Tilly titties.
Okay.
Okay,
Tilly in general, and that is not her actual voice, because if you follow her Instagram, which
she has an Instagram?
Oh yeah, I only recently started doing, you find out that's not her actual voice.
It's not?
No, but it is the voice you want her to have.
That's, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like Tara Strong.
So
she can have a voice of any kind of voice.
Well, and I find this interesting because Jennifer Tilly, while I'm not saying oh fuck Jennifer Tilly the person, but I find since following her Instagram,
she's old now.
She's she's still carrying it good, but following her Instagram, I'm thoroughly uninterested in the person of Jennifer Tilly. I'm interested in the character, and I found that odd distinction out. And that is well, we kind of touched on this a few episodes ago. Kind of the interesting factoid about Hollywood these days is that you have access to the real people, but you want the mystique.
Bro.
If this were the 40s or 50s and Jennifer Tilly was a thing, first of all, she'd blow Marilyn Monroe out of fucking water.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I just heard you say she'd blow, and then I got all excited. And then you said Marilyn Monroe. I'm like, ooh, I like where this is headed. Out of the water.
And I can still go where you want it to.
In the water.
Funny.
Next to the water.
But no, but we wouldn't know the globe-trotting Jennifer Tilly person who's constantly hanging out with her sister thanks to Instagram. We would only know the, high-pitched, squeaky-voiced Jennifer Tilly character, because that's what would be pushed on us. But at the same time, she'd be constantly sexually harassed behind the scenes. So, you take the good with the bad.
That still goes on.
I would say less these days.
Harvey Weinstein, bro.
Yeah, well, I would say less these days. A
within
lot of shit has been brought to life. Tons of people have been fired across the board. Harvey Weinstein is lucky to get his hands on anyone at this point.
No, ever since everything's been coming to light, I guarantee is a lot less fucking...
Okay, but, what I'm saying is it was rampantly worse when it was drastically hidden.
Okay, so what you're saying is, back in the 40s, 50s, maybe 60s, granted,
where
60s,
there was this huge curtain.
There was listen now, you gotta do what a man says.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it was, 100 times worse back then, but that does not discount anything that happened.
Oh, absolutely not.
For sure. But yeah, anyways, Bound's a great movie.
Bound's a great movie.
Like I said,
Bound's pretty cool. You know exactly what I'm referencing. You're trying to figure it out. Onyx Vids on YouTube. I've recently started watching his whole channel. It's fucking awesome. It's great. Check that out.
But what I was trying to say before you got me all confused for a minute. No, Brittany was telling me about it. I was like, okay. And then I looked it up. Wachowski film. Oh, okay. I like all these aspects. And she sent it with me when I went back down to Georgia. And it was sitting in with my movies for a while.
What was my exact words though?
I don't remember the exact words, but it's
this is a relationship
lines,
test, Bob. Do not be alarmed.
I failed. It was somewhere along the lines of.
Well, the first thing she said was, "Bob, you better never forget this."
She did tell me. She said it has like the best lesbian sex scene in it, but she said watch it at the very fucking least for that sex.
If we're talking,
I was like, watch it.
Sex scene was, of course, like great, but the movie itself, fantastic.
If we're talking cinematically shot, absolutely best lesbian sex scene ever. But
especially knowing that it's a Wachowski film.
But
like you can see a lot of their signatures in it.
But when you've watched the movie, the whole lead up to that is so fucking palpable. Like, and then you get not only that, you think you're in for this like, at the time the 90s and shit, like this like taboo love relationship, but it turns out to be a whole other, and I don't want to spoil anything. And I'm trying to dance around spoilers. It turns out to be this whole other
movie
film
that came out fucking over 2 decades ago.
Yeah, still,
but
it's like a lesser known. Yeah,
but it's a lot. I mean, if you're just spoiled Forrest Gump, it's just like
of course everyone knows. But we're talking about Bound here. Like it's hard enough to find on DVD, which I was lucky to do.
But that love story. Or that romance in this story is still always in the background.
Oh no,
it's what always fuels this whole storyline.
The movie never forgets it. It just,
that's not its main focus.
It starts as a passionate love affair, and then like turns into a completely different movie in a almost seamless fashion.
See, but the thing about it is the thing that has always stuck out to me about the movie.
Tilly titties.
Is
Tilly nipples
as a
they
woman
stuck out to her.
You guys are disgusting, and I was about to get even more
disgusting
in depth, kind of.
Yes, both.
Okay.
Tilly vulva.
Both. Okay.
Guys, I said something about Tilly vulva and nobody laughed.
I'm trying to actually let Brittany say what she wants to say.
No, but that last thing I said was kind of a Letterkenny reference, and nobody got it. Everyone stopped to try and think. I'll show you guys after.
Okay, Vin.
Yeah.
Vin, okay.
Okay, yes.
Okay. You guys will never experience this because you're straight male men.
And white. And American. Please give us all our laurels.
But
give me all my fucking privileges.
The sex,
okay?
like the relationship between Gina Gershon and Jennifer Tilly in that movie is like this. You know, you're not supposed to, quote unquote, to do something
taboo.
Well, because Gina Gershon's there for a job. Jennifer Tilly is married and she's a woman, and you don't know the specifics of her marriage, that first half of the film.
But
that gets revealed as the movie goes on.
What I'm getting at is, as a woman in a relationship with a man, when you're cheating on him with a woman, it's very it's forbidden. It's scary.
It's a very interesting conversation right now.
I mean, I'm not cheating on you
because.
Oh no! I'm not looking at you like. Wait a minute, are you? Confessing? I'm looking at you because I'm interested.
I can't say as a man cheating in a relationship with another man, so I can't speak to the homosexual side of it.
Yeah, you can.
Girlfriend, let's table that for another episode.
I mean, I was in that situation.
But and not proudly so, but I wear myself on my sleeve at this point, and I've learned a lot of really hard fought lessons that I really probably should have known out of the box, but I didn't, and I was a dumbass for a very long time. But I am a former cheater, and I can speak to the idea of cheating just from a straight side of things. And like what you're describing is essentially what I felt, just a man cheating with another woman.
It's different when you've never been with a woman as a woman and you realize you're attracted to another woman.
Well, I mean, first can mean a very, very broad amount of things to begin with, especially these days. Now, you leaned in like there's some sort of deeper story here, and that's not what I'm getting at.
No, what I'm saying is, you said first can mean a lot of different things. Nope, first kind of means the first time.
Well, I mean, like, okay, so, like, the woman you're with is a certain way. Maybe she's a little mousy, or maybe she is a very strong-willed woman, or however you define her, okay. Which is not your right. Really trying to cover my ass on every level of this thing. But whatever is different than that is your first
start now?
Okay.
Why start covering your ass now? Have you not heard every other fucking episode of every other fucking podcast we've done?
So, okay. Like, extreme situation. Removing this from me. Like, my own personal things. Okay, I've never been with a intensely religious woman. So let's say you are an intensely religious man. You're with an intensely religious woman, blah, blah, blah. And here comes a call-in, some punk girl. Mm-hmm. And that is very different than anything you've known. And for whatever reason, your fucking turtleneck and or ascot and or sweater vest has piqued her fancy. And now she's on you. And you are feeding into it. That is very different from anything you've ever known.
Right.
And I'm sure that woman makes love differently. I'm sure that woman, like, handles you differently. And so it is a completely different experience. And my reasoning for doing this comparison is that, like, just because they are both biologically born women doesn't mean it's not a completely different experience.
I think you're missing my point.
Yeah, I think essentially what you're trying to say.
And I have been in that situation as a cheating male on his significant other.
A very broad, like, summary of what you're trying to say is just that, regardless whether you're same gender or not, every person is different.
Yes, exactly. It doesn't have to necessarily be a first-time homosexual experience. Right. It can mean as much if it is a straight experience.
Right. But I'm comparing, like, my experience to what happened in this movie. So, like, that feeling that she has when she is, like, with Gina Gershon, like, I felt that feeling. It's like forbidden. It's
like it hits you on a much more personal level.
Because it's like a sexual awakening. Yeah. And when you are dating a man,
supposed to be into this
to you,
and now I am. Right. So what's going on here?
Right. And when you're dating a man, especially when you're 19, 20 years old, he's not gonna expect, at least the area that we come from. Yeah. He's not gonna expect the girl that you're spending all your time with to be the person you're cheating on him with. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
So when you're like, oh, well, me and old girl are gonna study.
You and Jennifer, going back to
Jennifer, are gonna study. I'm gonna call you later.
Me and Lady
when we live in the same dorm,
T-dub.
It don't matter. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It'd be no different than be like, well, okay, me and Vin's gonna go through our comics.
Right.
I'm like, oh man, they've been out there for hours. They must be like really into these comics.
Okay, going through comics takes hours.
No, we really did. Like
it takes.
We went through one long box of shit to get rid of, and it took hours.
It takes hours.
So if we were having this secret sexual relationship,
we'd be gone for like 2 weeks.
So pretty much what I'm getting at is coming from a small town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not,
Oh, yeah. That plays a big factor in it.
Not being able to fully express who you are, who you think you are.
Babysitters Club never covered this one. You know.
That movie is what made me realize that I might like girls, and I was 9. And then obviously, like, I buried that down. I was like, this is weird. And then I was 18, 19, and I finally slept with a girl at 19 years old in my college dorm. And it was like a feeling of, whoa. I don't know. It's a feeling that I guess maybe the way guys feel the first time they have sex.
And maybe it's not. Maybe it's like a whole different experience. Because I mean, I
think it's different for everyone.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Everyone has their own unique way of it going down.
But I kind of feel like even with just like a heterosexual sexual relationship. Yeah, like between the male and the female, like they're gonna have different feelings,
right?
But like say your first time with a male, you had this certain feeling. I feel like, of course, you're going to have like a completely different experience.
Fucking mind blowing.
Like it's night and day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I get it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you have to wonder if sexuality and homosexuality specifically had been normalized as we were being brought up. Like, how many of us would be maybe more into guys than we are now?
I mean, I guess it's more on how you were personally raised, because how, like, we all grew up, give or take, within a few years, around the same time.
Yeah.
Now, I was raised
by an awesome mother,
a very open-minded person.
I was raised by here's the standard.
Right.
This is what you do. Yeah. Even though so fucking very many people in front of you are going to live outside of that standard. Mm-hmm. Here's the standard. Yeah. This is what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And that was always my driving force in life. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't say that was sexually driven. It was more of like conductually. Yeah. Is that a word?
It is now.
It is now.
By the example of other people's conduct, conductually driven.
This is the norm, quote unquote, the norm, and you follow the norm.
Like, here's what you should be doing. Here's what your dad's doing.
Right.
So,
and I don't know. Like I said, like it's hard for me to even like speak on something like that, because like I said, like it was normal for me.
It's so what if. It's so very Marvel what if.
Quote unquote uncle. He wasn't actually my uncle. I think you actually know him, but it's like, oh, there's Uncle Joe and his boyfriend, and it was just like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I needed no explanation. I needed to know, like, well, I mean, some people might not agree with it. The only time, like, it ever hit me, like, wait a minute, like, people aren't cool just because of like the person that he likes or he loves, is whenever he showed up. I can't remember which holiday it was, but Thanksgiving, I think. And he was beaten to a bloody pulp because of the fact that he was a homosexual. And that was the first time. I was young. I don't even know how old. Maybe Thayer's age. Mm-hmm. Maybe like around 6 or so. Mm-hmm. It finally hit me like, oh, like people aren't cool with it.
You know,
like, I just never, even at a young age, like, I guess it was just from like the way my mom raised me. But like,
for me, it was never an annoyance.
It was never like
an annoyance.
Well, annoyance was my guide, and what I mean by that is, like, when people would shit on things like two dudes being together, or like a guy is black, I'd be like, who gives a fuck? Why does this matter to me?
Oh, okay.
I'm annoyed that this is in my fucking vision at all, because this doesn't matter. I don't need this to get from A to B. So fuck off with your bullshit, because I don't need it. I assume the world doesn't need it. Let's go.
Because simply, like, whatever someone's personal life choices is, doesn't
affect you.
It doesn't affect you. So
yeah, it's a little sociopathic.
It's annoying.
But at the same time, it was like it was a guiding force, and like it doesn't matter if you're black.
You didn't judge it. It didn't concern you, so you just didn't care.
It didn't affect you until other people made it.
And I guess that's a different version of white privilege.
Yeah,
but
it is.
At the same time, it was like. It helped me form my opinion of like I don't care what color your skin is,
straight
like
male white
who
privilege.
Are you to me, like as a
mean,
person, you know? Are you someone I want to get to know? Are you someone who annoys me? Like I don't care what color your skin is, who you love. I just care who you are, and if you are doesn't mean anything to me, then. Fuck you. It's not based on your upbringing. Yeah. It's based on whether I give a shit or not to care.
I'm not sure if what you're saying is necessarily like I think Brittany.
It's hard to tell whether it's good or bad.
Well,
I'm on that fine line.
I think the way you're interpreting it is not what he's intending.
Unique.
I think what he's trying to say is like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Finn. Like, I mean, this is just from like what I'm hearing. It's not like to you. It didn't matter whether like regardless of someone's race or regardless of their sexual orientation. You know, I mean, you just like as like kind of. Like generic as it sounds, like you just saw the people as people, and it wasn't brought to your attention until somebody else was making it a problem, like, until somebody else was like, "Well, he's with another man, or he's black."
If anything, people making it a problem, but made them more of a problem for me than the problem they were trying to make.
But let me reinforce what I'm saying in aspect of like the way you're seeing it. The way you're seeing it is that. His privilege is he's never had to realize like just because
that doesn't mean I don't recognize that those obstacles are there for those people
and that's fine.
Is never brought to his attention.
I get that.
So like there's this weird like murky area in between where it's like it's
wokeness
and
it's privilege.
It's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad.
But it's not great.
I'm just saying it's no different than the whole like Black Lives Matter thing and you being like, "Oh, well, I don't see matter. No." It's like
that's actually where I stood with it.
Like,
I was like, why do we have to shine a light on one thing?
It's because that one thing is a big fucking thing. Like,
so that's it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I think I know where you're going with that. Yeah. By shining a light on that one thing and making that one thing the biggest problem, you're saying that this is the thing that matters. When if you were to say that everything matters, all of us matter,
it's just
that would be shining a light on the actual thing.
Right.
And like that is my problem with Black Lives Matter. It's not that Black lives don't matter. Listen, it's that. It's not that Black lives don't matter. It's that, like, we're honing in on one minority. There are so fucking many people on this planet.
But that one minority is what's
Do we want Star Trek? Because this is how we don't get Star Trek. Because they are a united, living human organism under one serviceable ideal that humans matter.
I just want to say a word. Like, just let me get a word in.
No, go ahead.
I'm
fighting my best instincts.
I know.
To give you this because I want to make a joke. So.
Okay, just give me a second.
Yes. Okay.
This snowballed.
But can I finish?
This snowballed really, really fast.
Oh yeah.
And we're deeper in this than I wanted to be, but I think I'll put this out in its entirety.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not that the Black Lives Matter thing, and like homosexuals and LGBTQ, all that. It's not that it's saying that they matter more. It's that they matter as well. Yeah. And wait, just give me a second.
Okay.
It's I get it. You're like, okay, well, all lives matter.
That sparked a new idea in me.
No.
And
I want to hear more of what you have to say.
It's because, for example, what was it, like episode 9 or whatever? I'm like 1/2 Mexican or whatever.
I think that was episode 7 or 8.
Yeah.
But I have lived my whole life as a white woman. Mm-hmm. But I took notice of the wrongdoings that happened to my friends who were black, my friends who were gay, and things like that, because I took it upon myself to know that I am light-skinned, I have blue eyes, I'm, as fucked up as this sounds, attractive people get by easier, I'm not ugly. So, like, I'm attractive, I have light skin, I have blue eyes, so, like, I get through life, like, la-di-da-di, but I took it upon myself to notice that my friends didn't get through life that way, and they're just as important as I am.
And that's what I was trying to say, but I didn't want to, like, try to cut you off. Like what you're saying, like with like Black Lives Matter, it's not saying that Black Lives only matter. It's shining a light on...
Although with all of these movements, there are people who
there's always going to be extremists,
side.
regardless.
Yeah, there are always going to be extremists.
Yeah, but well, I was going to say it's shining a light on problems that are becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger problems as time goes.
Right.
Everybody gets shot. Like there's somebody from every race that gets shot by police. But look at statistics.
Mm-hmm.
I love the as well argument. I absolutely think that has provided a new outlook for it on me, but it also pours more into what I believe is that if we consistently focus on these definers, and that's an astounding thing that I believe that is a hypocrisy in all of this, is that people don't want to be defined by these things, but they'll use definers to call attention to their cause. If we could all just get on the side of we all matter. We're all human fucking beings. It's not like several sects. Like there was the Homo erectus and the Homo sapien and the Neanderthal all living at the same time. No, it is we are fucking human beings right now living on this planet trying to make it work.
I get that.
You know?
But
that is what we need to call attention to, is that it doesn't matter if you were born in Korea or if you were born in America or if you were born in fucking South Africa. We're all genetically to the basic cores the same, and we need to figure out how to make this planet work because we're killing it.
But that's
a different discussion.
But
you know,
I'm gonna say this, and then we should film another episode or just get drunk.
To get to the end of my point, a united world is what I like to believe in, and everything else in between is just filler bullshit.
Right. I get that.
But
and that's
well, no, Bob, your thing there. I feel like
no. I mean, like I have a lot to say on it, but I don't want to cut Brittany off. But like,
we do that. Oh,
yeah.
Like, look, I get you have to get from A to B to get to C.
It's okay. You want everyone to be
because to C?
Because you want everyone because you're A. You are listen.
That's what I'm trying to say is like I think where you're going is exactly what I was trying to express.
Yes, because Vin, you're A. You know what I mean? And
I like to think I'm C, but
okay, you can be. I mean, you're A though because you're a white male.
Unfortunately, male, like,
is always A. White straight woman is always gonna be B, and then anything white is gonna be C, and then black people unfortunately are sometimes even below Asians and everyone else because Asians even get paid more. All I'm saying is I understand that you want everyone to be like a united, we're all one human race. Because you're right, we are to a certain extent. But when people of color are treated less than human, we can't all act and come forth as a quote-unquote human front when they're still fighting for basic civil rights. They don't get paid as much as white people. They have to work harder to get into school. They have to do a lot more.
Well, no, I get that. And I actually see what you're saying about me being an A. Okay, let's say it's the full alphabet. I see myself at the Z. I'm down fucking here waiting for everyone else to catch up because I don't see why we're wasting time with all this like bureaucracy and trying to fix these things are fucking obvious.
I think I have a good analogy.
At the same time, I do have the privileges of A. I can stand on A's side anytime I want to. But I choose to be down here where, like, I see things going even past my lifetime.
But the D's don't have that choice.
No, I get that. Not necessarily, because there are people...
I'm sorry, just...
Because I said D.
The D.
The D.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm so fucking immature.
Like, me, right here, like, anyone who's at Z is holding the gate open for anyone who wants to jump up to Z. Because Z is the end game. Z is the, like, we all get along fucking thing. Like, we all recognize, like, all of these dumb fucking fights are stupid. Here we are at Z. Let's fucking focus on humanity.
Unfortunately, there's more A's.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you are right about that. And that is where the problem is.
Yeah.
There are more A's than there are Z's. We need to get to fucking Z together. And anyone who finds themselves at Z needs to hold that fucking gate open. For sure.
All right. This is probably the best way that I can think of to, like, summarize all of it. And
spoken like a true J.
And put it... and put it into, like... And put it into perspective.
You know what that means.
Okay. What you're talking about, what you're talking about your end game is a nice, smooth, flat, polished piece of wood, piece of pine. But in order to get to that point, there's a lot of knots, there's a lot of high points that need to be sanded down. There's a lot of points that need to be like, and those high points are like Black Lives Matter. Yeah. That whole movement is because that's a big fucking issue. We got to get past all of that to get down to. I get what you're
saying, and that comes from a standpoint of a woodworking shop that has nothing on the rack that is already at that finished point. But what I'm saying is that we are at a point where all of that finished point is within view. Like, we could turn around and see all those finished fucking boards, and we don't actually have to put in this work because we have everything we need back there. But for whatever reason, we keep grinding away because deem it important.
Because there's a huge portion of the tools that don't want to work.
Yep.
There's a huge... That's what it is.
We're sanding by hand.
And our hands are getting fucking bloody and worn, and
it's kind of a time travel thing. The way that you're bringing it into those tools are worn down because they already worked. It's all back there on the rack. Right. We just need to turn around and look at that fucking rack, and we're like, oh shit, that's what it was. Let's stop this because we got plenty over here. We need to be that.
But do you realize we have the most useless tool in office right now?
Okay,
our instructor.
Okay, if progress was really that rapid, it wouldn't really matter at this point. But I love Obama, but like, I mean, come on, he's subject to the Congress and the thing and the other thing and this thing and it's just so fucking complicated when the whole world could get to go together and be like, we all matter, we don't have to bomb each other, let's find the next planet because we actually already fucking know where it is.
Yeah, but everybody that came into office
I think I'm a humanist.
Obama
I think I moved on past Z, and I'm on to whatever is after
XYZ.
And I'm a humanist.
On the symbols.
I hate fucking humans in general because we're too stupid to figure out how to get to Z.
I like cats.
You're an at sign.
Cats. Just
my name is Vincent. Vincent Humanist.
Humanist.
Vincent Herman, Vin the Humanist.
Bob Collins, bomb this world.
Bob this world. My name is Brittany, and it's Brittany Love.
Brittany Love.
Brittany
okay,
Love.
Humanist, bomb this world, and love.
Good way to
signing
end it.
out.
Love.